Hey guys, it's Whitney, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Jaclyn Hill and Moprhe brush, the Master Collection brush set. This is just the sleeve off the package, and then this is the case that it comes in. And you get 24 brushes. You get 10 face brushes in this particular set, the Big Daddy, and you get 14 eye brushes plus the case. Now, I will say I really like the case. I tried filming this yesterday, so it kind of gave me 3 days because I got this brush set the day before yesterday, so I played with it the day I got it. Yesterday, when I tried to film this video, my Wi-Fi kept disconnecting my laptop, which is where I see what you guys see, you know, where I can look at myself in the monitor. This is what I use. So I had to, now I'm refilming this video at midnight, so, and I'm just going to redo the entire video instead of going back where I started because I hated my makeup yesterday so bad. We're going to get into that. So let's just go ahead and jump in. I paid $148 for this entire set, and that is with the 10% code JACATTACK, and I figured I'd use that code since she is the co-signer on this collaboration, so girl can make her money, a little bit more money off of me too, whatever. So let's just jump right in. And I'm going to go in the order that they are on this of what they say they're for. And what I want to do is I want to let you guys know how each brush worked for me. And also, she said she made these brush sets to do like full eye looks and full face looks. So you should have every brush you need. I did not. We'll get into that. So this brush right here, the JH01, is the powder brush. And this brush right here, I do not like it. I do not think it's a bad brush. But just for me, I think if you were somebody that just simply used only powder foundation, this brush would be your everything. But for me, it is so big that it doesn't even fit into a lot of my powder things. And then it's also, like, it's fluffy, but it kind of messes up my foundation whenever I go to swirl it on. I actually prefer something this size, which is also from Moprhe, and it's smaller. And I pack it in, but then with the tip is fluffy, so I can kind of rub it in a little bit when I'm done. So for this one, I don't think you need this brush, but it's an awesome brush. I think that if I was to put glitter on my body, whenever I do my body oil on my chest, I could rub it in really good on there and on my shoulders, and this would work really, really well for that. Okay. And then for the JH02 is this big bronzer brush. Now, I used this yesterday, and yesterday my makeup was peeling really, really bad right here, and I said I did not know if it was this brush, the foundation brush, or the contour brush. So I did not use this brush today, and for me, I would only use this brush for bronzer if I was not going to wear blush because this is so big. Like, I might use this to put a little bit of bronzer on my forehead or on my body or the bronzer down my neck, but for an everyday bronzer brush for me, this does not work. I prefer actually a smaller bronzer brush, something more like this. And that is really to do my forehead and to work bronzer on. Now, that's really small for a bronzer brush, I know, but for me, I would not use something this big, but it is a really soft and nice brush. And come to find out, this was not what made my makeup peel yesterday, because if you can tell, right here on my cheeks, my makeup is peeling there as well. So it was not this guy. We're on to the JH03, the Ride or Die foundation brush. I really love this brush, okay? The first time I used this, which was yesterday, it soaked up 4 drops of foundation, okay? Which is a lot, I know, but then I had to put a little bit more foundation directly onto my face yesterday, and it did not soak up any of that, and then today it did not soak up any. But I'm sure that once you do clean this brush and then reuse it, it's going to re-soak up foundation. But this is one of the only foundation brushes that I own that does not leave streaks to the point to where after I buff it out and press it in, that I have to go in with a beauty blender or a sponge and re-pat over to get some of the streaks out. Because I know a lot of foundation brushes say they don't streak, but they do. I mean, let's just be honest about it. But this foundation brush, I would give this brush a 10 out of 10. And I would definitely say that this is a must-have brush out of the set. Moving on to the JH04, this is the blush brush. and it looks just like this, and I used it for its intensive purposes. And today I used it with my Tarte blush from my Tarte Clay Play palette, and I really like this brush. And I like it because I like my blush brushes to be really soft and flimsy, because harder blush brushes pull my makeup up. I have really finicky skin, so it takes a lot to make makeup work for me. And I have favorites. I counted my brushes. I have 281 makeup brushes. That's my face, eyeshadow, everything. So I really like this, and I would say that if you're looking for a good blush brush, I don't know if they already sell this one on the site and they just put the white handle on it, but I would definitely say that this guy also is a 10 out of 10, and I absolutely love this brush. Now we're going to move on to the JH05, which is the Perfect Contour Brush. I'm not going to lie, I have not used this brush for contour yet, because with my cheekbones, I need something small just to run directly into the hollows of my cheekbones, because I already have really high set cheekbones, so I don't need a lot of contour to make mine look bigger. So I just go in with the very tiniest amount of contour. I prefer something, whenever I do contour, I actually use something this size of a brush. Very tiny, so you guys can see the difference in the sizes. So for me, I would use this actually for, I'm going to try this for foundation. I'm going to try this out. It uses a foundation brush as well, because I could do that. Because it definitely has the kind of bristles that you could definitely work with in that kind of way. So I have no opinion on that guy yet. Now we're going to go into the JH07, wait, no, JH06, my everything brush. This brush right here, the one that she says, I used this to remove the setting powder underneath my eye, and when I did, it took the makeup off right here. This is what caused my makeup to come off yesterday and today. I will not use this brush again. Whenever I did this, like, it's making my under eyes look really, wherever this brush touches on my face, my makeup comes off. It looks cakey. This brush, to me, is a negative 10 out of 10. No, this brush, absolutely not. Trash to me. Now we're going to go on to the JH07 Under Eye Powder Brush. I used this guy yesterday as powder brush for underneath my eyes for setting my makeup and all that. This did not work for me. So, and why I say that is because whenever I used this to pack on powder yesterday, it made my under eyes look so bad, you guys. So I tried it again today with a different under eye powder to set with, and then I used the one that's making my makeup come off to wipe away. But this did the same thing. Like, it packed on powder so much in certain places that both times it's making my under eyes look very, very cakey. And I have very finicky under eyes just like the rest of my face. So only certain brushes really work for me. So this brush I'm going to try to actually use as a contour. Because if you can see how much smaller the tip of this brush is compared to the contour brush, this one will fit really nicely into the hollows of my cheeks and to get around my hairline with my contour and bronzer. So I would say that, yeah, I just don't like that brush either, which isn't a big deal, because if we're going to be honest, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys, there's probably, out of all 24 brushes in this set, I probably do not like 5, which for me is a really good give and take, because I always still keep my brushes I don't like, because I give them away to family members, or I just put them back to use. I can always find a way to use them, whether it's to put my lava paint on my body or to contour my neck and under here. I find a way to make them work, which I suggest everybody does instead of just completely counting it out and throwing it away. So now we're going to move on to the JH08, which is the Anything Creamy brush, which is this guy right here. From my understanding, this should be either a concealer brush or a cream contour brush. You can use this, like it says, for anything creamy. I've used it all 3 days to buff in my concealer. Did really, really good at. I used my NARS Soft Matte Pot. I used my NARS, the actual concealer in a tube. I've used my Tarte Shape Tape, and they all worked really, really well together with that. And then what I did today, both times, yesterday and today, I took it after I did that, and I did my cream contour on my cheeks. This worked so good to buff it out, and I'm so glad that this was not what made my makeup come off, because I really didn't know what brush was making my makeup come off right here the past 2 days. And like I said, come to find out, it was just this stupid little powder brush. I don't know why it's doing it, but it is. So this concealer brush right here, I really need to come back and do a second follow-up video and let you guys know if they already sell most of these brushes on the website. But this right here, love this concealer brush, you guys. Okay, moving on to the JH09. This is the Glow Baby Glow brush. This is the highlighter brush. And I used it, I did not use it for my highlighter today. I used it yesterday for my highlighter, and it works really, really good. But like today, for the look I wanted to go for, let me just grab this guy back here. I actually pulled out my Luxie 522 tapered highlighter brush that I got in a BoxyCharm. And whenever I prefer something, whenever I want to do a very highlighted, glowy look, and today I really want my face highlight to pop really big, I'll use a bigger brush like that as opposed to something like this. But whenever I'm doing something less intense, I love brushes like this. This worked really good yesterday. Typical highlighter brush. Do I think you need it if you have a few highlighter brushes like I do? No, but it's worth it to keep in your backup stash, you know. Okay, the last face brush we have is the JH10 Snatch Your Edges brush. This is this very little contour brush that Jaclyn Hill always talks about in any of her videos. I'm a die-hard Jaclyn Hill fan, so I watch all her videos, tutorials. Her and Nikki tutorials are pretty much who taught me how to do my makeup, you know, and for my eye shape. This brush, I used it with cream contour, and I could not get it to blend out. My face looked horrible. Then yesterday I used it with powder contour. My face looked horrible. So today what I did is whenever I did my foundation and my concealer, I did not put any down on my nose through here. And then I took this, put a little tiny, tiny bit of cream contour, and then put foundation on top of it. I got it to work that way. But so pretty much all I could do with this, you guys, was just barely pat a little bit on it and then cover it. Because literally the other 2 days I used it, it looked like two poop stripes running right straight down through my nose. Yesterday I put 12 layers of setting powder, loose Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 05 Fair loose translucent powder, packed on top of that to try to cover it. It would not cover it because of how harsh it made this. And I used my go-to cream powder, and then the next day, yesterday, I used my go-to contour powder. So today, like I said, I just barely dipped it in there one time, and then actually on the back of my hand, I bounced it a couple times and then kind of stamped it just a tiny little bit. This brush, for me, I think if you're really good at learning how to figure out your brushes and make them work, this brush will be really good for you. However, if you are a beginner, do not touch this brush or come near it. Yeah, that's just me. Don't think you need it. Okay, guys, so moving on into the eye brushes, we have the JH30, which she describes as the Beast Mode blender brush. I did use this today to blend out. I've actually used it the past 3 days. This is really soft, and I love it. To me, this compares most to the E27 brush from Moprhe, as far as the way that they feel and the way that they blend. This is a really good brush. I 100% am going to jump back on here after I clean these brushes, which will probably be sometime at the end of the week. Probably this coming Friday I'll be cleaning these brushes, because I have problems with my white-haired Moprhe brushes fraying really, really bad, and I use the correct contraption and everything when cleaning them, and then I ended up always having to cut off the extra frayed white hair on them. So I'm going to come back and let you guys know. But this brush right here, definitely a winner, and I'd really thank you guys. That's a brush that you definitely need. Now we're moving on to the JH31, the Fluffy Blender brush, which is this white brush right here. I used this brush yesterday, and what I did is I used the tip of this to blend out the bottom of my lash line. If I had to compare this brush right here, I would compare it to the Morphe M441. This is what they both look like. They both have the exact same amount of give. But I will say, even the brushes that I know she said they were already being made by Morphe, and all they did was put the white handle on them, these feel better quality. The ones from the Jaclyn Hill Master Set, these are way better quality than the pre-made ones. It's way more than just the handle. I will give that girl that, because these feel a million times better, and I really hope they clean up or they hold well whenever I clean them, because that's, like I said, my biggest issue with Morphe brushes is once I clean them, it's like they just turn to shit, and I only get like 10 or 20 washes out of them tops, and I'm very careful of how I take care of my brushes. Moving on to the JH32, we have the Transition Blender brush, which is this guy right here, and this one is really similar to the M573. Let me hold these up together. That's what they look like. They have have the same amount of give. And this one, the M573, I use it, it's my second shade down. So first I would use the huge fluffy brush. Then I would use the M573 next down in the color. And that's what I would use this JH32 brush for as well. I have not used this brush yet, but I will let you guys know as soon as I do. Moving on to the JH33. I love this brush, and I already own 4 of the M433 brushes. Let me just grab one real quick so that I can show you guys and let you guys see the difference in quality. These are both a 433. Now, this brush is wonky as shit. This came in my Moprhe Babes Faves eye set that I got for $50 off the website a couple months ago. This M433 from the Jaclyn Hill set, even just feeling it, it feels 20 billion times better. So this brush right here, I think if you can't afford the master brush set, you guys, I would say instead of getting the face brushes, get the eye brushes, because I really haven't came across an eye brush yet that I've used these past 3 days that was bad. I can find all of them have been really good that I've used, and I've used, I think, all of them but 2 or 3 in these eye looks, and I'm telling you, they are amazing. So the JH33, billion times better than the Moprhe M433, I'll tell you that. So now moving on to the JH34, this is described as a carve your crease brush. So this right here, she says to place directly in your crease to carve. My eye shape, I have very slanted small eyes. Let me grab a brush to show you guys. So whenever I'm doing detail work in my crease, I don't know if you guys can really tell the difference, but I prefer something with a lot smaller tip. And which this one does work really well for, but what I did with this today is I just took it right up against my bottom lash line and blended out a little bit. Worked really, really good for that. So I will say that this brush is really good, the JH34. Now moving on, we have the JH35, which is the upper crease brush. I have not used this guy yet, and to me it looks exactly like the JH33, except bigger. So if you look at them side by side, they both have the exact same, that flat shape, and then they have the loose top. And the only difference between the JH35 and the JH33 is that this one is slightly bigger and has a little bit more give. But all in all, this looks like the exact same brush to me. So, and I haven't used this one yet either, but it feels really, really nice. So moving on to the JH36. I have used this brush and I love it. It's the eye buffer brush. So what I would do is first thing, I'm just letting you guys know in case you guys don't know a lot about eye brushes. I would take the JH30, which is the huge Beast Mode blender brush, lay down my first color, and then I would take this JH36 and I would put down my second shade, kind of like how I said to do with like the M441 or the M573. Both these brushes are good for that. Love this brush, 10 out of 10. So moving on, we have the JH37, which she describes as the buffer blender brush. This does work really, really well in my crease. I've used it the past 2 days, and I use it just to blend after I do a lot of tiny detail work. Let me show you guys my tiny detail brushes. There's like a really super tiny one that I use from BH Cosmetics on my eyes. If I can find it. This guy. Whenever I do crease work in my eyes, where my eyes are so small and my crease is so small, I need something this small compared to the black one. So what I would do is I would lay this down first with this brush, and then I would take the JH37 and I would blend that out and blend it up a little bit. But as far as detailed crease work, this one's too big for me, but I love this brush and its sister brush, the JH36. I definitely think these are winners. I was just letting you guys know that the thing this brush set did not have for me was a small tiny brush like this. But I'm getting to the one that it does have. Now we're moving on to the JH38, which is the perfect pencil brush. This brush right here. What I ended up doing with it is I packed color on it and then drew on the blue that you guys see on my lash line for my Subculture palette. Worked really, really well for that. However, it did not work very well on my bottom lash line yesterday. I don't know why, but it didn't. And then I also tried using it as an inner corner highlight yesterday. Did not work well for that. So this brush, I really like this brush. I use the Wet n Wild pencil brush that came in a set that's a little bit fatter for my inner corners. I like a lot of inner corner highlights. So I think with this brush, it's more personal preference. Like I said, I prefer a lot more inner corner highlight, but for this, I'll find a way to make any brush work. Something like this, I would also do very tight detail work in my crease too. You just got to play with them and figure out ways to make them work. So moving on to the JH39, the inner corner highlight brush. I used that today to place down the light blue glitter in my eye. I absolutely love this brush, and I also think that this brush will be really good for placing color underneath the brow bone and for putting harsh colors right here, and also really detailed crease work. That's something I love about pencil brushes. So let me show you guys this is a lot of my eye brushes. This is all eye brushes right here. And that's not including eyeliner, eyebrow, nothing like that. But that is my main eyeshadow brushes. So I try to think outside of the box with brushes. Like if something doesn't work the way that it's labeled to work, I will figure it out. And that's what I suggest you guys do. If something doesn't work, like if this doesn't work for you as a inner corner brush, try using it to lay down your brow bone highlight. Or what you want to do is you want to take a lot of color on it, run it against either your top or bottom lash line to apply some eyeliner. Or pack that on there to do a really sharp cut crease on your eye. And I promise you will love your brushes a lot more. Sorry, back to the video. Now moving on to the JH40, we're going to the Precise Blender Brush. This guy right here is what I was talking about whenever I was talking about the very precise brush from BH Cosmetics. Now this right here, I'm about 1000% sure that this is based off the 506 or 507 from Moprhe, because they were the exact same brush, but I'm not complaining. I already own two 506s and two 507s, and these are really good brushes. This brush right here, I 100,000,000% think that you need to order yourself at least 3 or 4 of these. These are really good, because also you can pack on color and then barely blend it out into your crease. It's also really good for under eye blending. It's also really good for detail work. So this brush right here, definitely a 10 out of 10. Now we're going to move on to this crappy thing. We are moving on to the JH41, which she describes as the all-over lid brush. And that is this guy right here. So this right here, the white brush, is hers. And this right here is the one I own from Moprhe already, which is the M124. And they're the exact same material. I hate this brush. I tried using this brush the day I got these brushes and yesterday. I do not like the quality of this brush. I don't like the quality of the brush that I already owned either. I very rarely use this. And if I do, I kind of use it to pack on underneath my brow bone, or whenever I have to get a really tight fit for whenever I'm cutting my crease, my inner corner, I'll use this. But I do not use this to pack on color. Let me show you guys. I also have this brush made out of the same material. It's the M167. And from Moprhe, and it's, if you can see, it's just a darker color, but they're made out of the exact same material. But if you're going to order a brush from Moprhe to pack with, I would suggest, let me find it real quick, you guys, sorry. This right here. This is a Moprhe M421 brush. And they look just like that. And this is really a concealer brush from Moprhe. So this brush right here is way, way better than these kind of material brushes. But this brush I will keep just because like I keep brushes and I figure out ways to make them work, whatever. If I run out of all my brushes, my packing brushes, of course I'll use this because it's all I have, whatever. So moving on to the oh snap, what am I missing? Oh, the JH42 Brow Bone Highlight Brush. That's this guy right here. And Moprhe actually already makes, I actually love this brush, I already own one. And I will show it to you. It's this guy right here. The black one came from the Moprhe Elite collection. No, this is not Elite. It's the M213. So they already had this brush. But I really love this brush. And it's really, really good for packing on your brow bone highlight. Like this is labeled 10 out of 10. You definitely need this brush. Now the last brush we're going to talk about is the JH43 Eyeliner Smudger Brush. Now this brush right here is way too fat for me to use as a eyeliner brush. I'm trying to get it to where you guys can see. Here, let me get some black eyeliner. No, I'm not, because I don't want to get eyeliner on it. So what I used this brush for yesterday is cutting my crease whenever I did a look. Whenever I prefer a detailed eyeliner brush, I prefer something like this black one because it's not anywhere near as thick as I'm trying to get it to where you guys can see. So let me just dip this in here. I think that'll be the best way for you guys to see. So what you're going to do, I don't know how well you guys can see, but that right there is how thick that is from the JH collection. Now I'm going to show you the brush I like, which is the M432. And what you want to do is this. I don't know if you guys can really tell how big of a difference that is. Let me go back in with the Moprhe and Jaclyn Hill one because I think I can do better. There you go. You can get it very precise if you want to. But for me, this is just way too thick for me personally. But I really think that you can make any of these brushes work. Also, the first day I got it, I used it to clean around my brows. And then yesterday, I did it to cut my crease. Laid the concealer down to cut my crease. So, all in all, you guys, I definitely think that, like I said, there was only 2 or 3 brushes that I absolutely don't think you need. And this case right here is going to be amazing to keep my travel brushes in. And then like my eyelash curler, eyelashes, and glue. Like I really think that this is an amazing holder. My only thing with this case is I tried putting my, seeing if I could pack just a little bit of makeup on it. Like the makeup I know I would travel with 100%. So I took this Essence Luminous Matte Bronzer. And I set it in here like such. And the box won't close. That's my only hype with that because see, now it's laying down flat. I can't get it to close. I don't know why they would not make it to where you couldn't do that. That's my only, I don't know. Because I would use this case. I love the idea of packing eye brushes. And it would fit your sponge, everything. I really do like that idea. But, you guys, that's it for today's video. And if you guys enjoyed it, then please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. I would love to see you guys. Like, I'm still working on a vault dupe for the Jaclyn and Moprhe brush collection. So, I hope you guys had a good time. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.